Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day on my slowly dying channel. Thumbs up for that. I'm laughing about it. It's fine. Definitely a good thing. I am sitting awkwardly because it used to be Amelia, my kitty cat, would sleep everywhere around the house and then would come in and sit on my lap periodically and then eat, and then she'd leave and then come back and then sleep somewhere in the house. Frequently now, for months, I see her just 5 or 10 minutes a day. She comes in, eats, and then leaves. In the past week and some, I've barely seen her at all. I'll see her once a day. So this morning, she came in to see me when I was waking up, and she's sitting on my lap right now. She's really thin, she's really, really bony, and she's almost 20. I don't think she's going to be with me much longer, but she's always been very set in her ways, that she's got the way she likes to do things. I would show her, but I'd have to pick her up, and then she'll leave. And so right now she's on my lap, and I'm glad, so I don't want to chase her away. So I gotta take what time I have with her until she stops coming home. I don't know where she goes or what she does. Hopefully she's happy. She doesn't come back injured. Well, she has periodically, little bites from fights, but hopefully that's not going to keep happening. Past that, it's another day. Hello, welcome. I'm only mentioning my kitty cat because she's on my lap right now, and that is a good thing. I'm very glad. Definitely a thumbs up. I have a fair amount of things written down on my list. Some of them new, some of them older, most of them silly. One thing I did want to mention, I'm just kind of proud of this one. I just recently had my latest 2-episode installment of a Minecraft video, and with the storyline that I've been doing of being, kidnapped from my home universe, at first it was like I was just playing it as that's the way it was happening, and not really showing anything. And then I started going into creative mode and adding stuff to the world, and then pretending that it was the thing. One of the latest ones I did, I was out and walking, and then I had to pretend there was huge explosions going on, because there weren't any in the game, of course. I had gone into creative mode and put a bunch of dynamite down and exploded it, and then afterward I was thinking about this, going, gosh, this, I should have done this, because after the explosions I saved and then started to back up in just regular survival, and then started the whole thing up. Afterward I was thinking, gosh, I should have put fire down, I should have put some magma blocks down. But it worked out perfectly the way I did it, because in normal explosions in Minecraft, there's no fire, there's just, it leaves behind blocks that you can pick up of stuff that got blowed up. And there was all that blowed up stuff everywhere when I dragged my character over after the explosions to take a look, and there was all the stuff. That's what made it seem good, because it was a real Minecraft explosion. Stuff blew up, and so there was the stuff to pick up. And so that was a mistake that turned out good. But I had to use a lot of editing in post, to make it look like there was explosions, with the shaking around, with the large explosion sounds. I modified a lot of the Minecraft sounds in Audacity, the explosion sounds. So I was really proud of that. It was pretty cool. Definitely a thumbs up. I just thought I'd mention that. I'm putting work into stuff that barely anybody watches, and that's fine. And it pleases me, it fills my day. Definitely a thumbs up. Yay. Let's see, what else do I have on my list? Because there's a lot of little things and such, and especially this is something that irritated me this morning. Finally, I felt the pull of the whole, I'm having so much trouble trying to keep my top plate in. It just wants to squirt out the front. Just whoop, out of my mouth. So, yay. It doesn't fit in the slightest, but I don't have money to make these things fit anymore. So, yeah. But anyway, I went on to Duolingo this morning because it was like, I saw this learning Chinese on Duolingo and I wanted to learn another language. This is really getting tough trying to keep my upper plate in. I am so sorry. And so I went to the Duolingo site and it was like ni hao. I can't pronounce it properly, of course. I'm not a native Mandarin or whatever, Chinese speaker, since there's a lot of different stuff going on there and I know very little. But went through the lesson, halfway did the stuff, but passed it, and then it said, oh, let's make you an account. And I wanted to go back and review what I had just gone through because, hey, I did it this morning, when I was tired and I wanted to take a look at like the symbols again. And everything is based forward on, you click something and it's like, okay, let's move forward. And it's like, no, I don't want to move forward. I want to review what we just took a look at because I want to see what the ideograms are and I want to hear it again. And it's like, okay. For the next thing, it's like, no, I want to review. Looking all over the front page, your landing page, the home page, and there's nothing to go back and review. Everything I click on that looks like it's go back and review is let's move forward. And it's like, unless you let me go back and review, I'm never coming back to your site again. You're not going to get any advertising click-throughs. You're not going to get anything. As long as your response is, let's move forward, instead of letting me go back and review what we just took a look at, goodbye, I'm never going to be using Duolingo again, ever. So, yay, I'm going to take another look at the site, but if it doesn't let me review what we just did, I'm, big deal, like they care. One person. But still, I want to take a look at what we just did, not move forward. If you're not going to let me review, then goodbye. So, yay, that's been fun. And of course, I was watching another video. I like watching the Kurzgesagt videos. It's even more dire, the situation that I had been talking about with, if, recycling, carbon use, the stuff that goes in the atmosphere, and how much and how little we as just an individual have as an impact on this problem, global climate change. Because if you spent 70 years of your life being absolutely carbon neutral, completely carbon neutral, 70 years that way, that is less than 1 second of the entire global emissions problem. 70 years of your life, less than 1 second. It's a big problem. It is a huge problem. And unfortunately, it's very complex because our world is, it's joyous. I mean, rice. You wouldn't think growing rice to feed people is bad, but rice gives off methane emissions on its own. And it's a huge amount, an incredible amount. So everything we do has an adverse effect on the planet. And unfortunately, with the systems we have now, if developing countries want to rise up out of abject poverty, the only technologies we have to do all that, pump huge amounts of carbon into the atmosphere. So, is it then right and moral that they develop so that they're not in poverty? Well, I'd say yeah, but is it right to pump all that carbon into the atmosphere? Well, we can't just say no to them, because take a look at what we as the developed nations are doing. It's an incredible amount. But you can't just say, well, look at what we do, therefore you can't. If you're not going to do anything about what you're doing, just if you're trying to keep everyone else down so that you can maintain what you have, that's bad. There was a big thing in the middle of the last century, in the 1970s and such, and it was still being pushed back when I was, graduating high school in the 1980s. If you've ever heard about it, I don't know if it's still talked about now, there was a big push for zero population growth. This was evil and is what it says. Zero pop. We freeze the world where it is right now. We do not advance our technology anymore. We do not advance anymore because there are limited resources on the planet. Everything freezes. Problem with that, of course, is developing nations and poverty will be in poverty forever. There is no way to change. If you are down, you will stay down forever. There is no chance that you will be able to ever be like any of those developed nations where they like have adequate food and medicine and transportation and sewage systems. You'll never get those because it's zero pop. And that big zero population thing is horrific, especially since if we were halfway intelligent about it, we could easily feed and clothe the world on relatively small portions of land. We could ease our impact on the planet. But it is, of course, extremely complex. No easy answers. That's why when you hear easy answers, you're hearing from someone who doesn't understand the problem. If they're saying this will fix things, then they don't know what's going on. If they say things like, doing this could help, probably won't, but if you enjoy doing it, then think about it. That's okay. That's different. You're making personal life choices, and personal life choices are fine. But if you're told, oh, if you don't do this, you're making things worse. Not really. So joy. It is joyous. Let me see what else I have in here, just because I've got a lot of things that I had written down, and I'm still suffering from a lot of brain fog, which is joyous on its own. And yesterday I even fell asleep in the middle of the day. When I start getting that I'm gonna fall asleep feeling, by the time it hits me, I am not in a state where I can do anything about it. I need to know that I'm reaching that state before I reach it so I can do something. Good golly, Miss Molly, my upper lip is just itching. So I can do something about it. But it is a stealth maneuver. It comes up and sneaks and then stabs when I'm not looking, and then I'm hit with it. And when I am in that state, I cannot make good decisions, so I fall asleep in my chair here. Yay! And since my brain forgets to tell my lungs to actually breathe periodically, that's not good. I have to wear a sleep apnea mask when I sleep. Even when I fall asleep in my chair, I need to have that, but I'm not in any state to put it on. So it was a good day yesterday from falling asleep. Took a long time to ungrogify myself. Yay. So it was not a bad day, but it wasn't a good day. There were just things happening, and with my brain fog, it sucks. Hopefully that's going to clear up soon. Thumbs up for that. But let me see what else I may have. Oh yes, the thing I wanted to talk about. Many people have asked what like a T-Rex would taste like. And there have been a lot of various channels that have tried to address what it would taste like. One of the things that I had heard about is something that I had never thought about because I didn't know the composition of the world back then. But not only would T-Rex meat likely taste pretty bad, but it would also be generally poisonous. Stuff moves up the food ladder in predators. So if there's a lot of stuff in the environment that little things eat, then the things that eat those get concentrated amounts of that in their body. And then the things that eat them, it gets more concentrated. They eat a lot more of it, and so the stuff gets into them. And so the further up the chain, the more you get this buildup of the toxic materials in the apex predators. There was a lot of cadmium in the earth back then. T-Rexes would probably poison you from cadmium poisoning if you ate T-Rex meat somehow and magically from that time period. Now, this is just extrapolation. Nobody really knows, but it would make sense because we know that that's a system that works. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I only had about 10 comments. I got a few more over the last 24 hours, so thumbs up and thank you each person that has left a comment. It is appreciated. I'm going to go through and thank these people. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker, and even though I count American Sign Language, with my brain fog this past week and some, it's been awful. So we have Ice Damon, greatly appreciated, and Usman Ahmed. I have no idea if I even got close to the first name pronunciation, but thank you. Intra, greatly appreciated. We have Big Frogums, thumbs up and thank you. We have Paulina Counterman, greatly appreciated. Canada, Toronto, thumbs up. We have Trini Piggy, thumbs up and thank you. There is Fargrand, always good to see you in the comments. There is XKC Man, thumbs up. Then we have Maiden Canada, good to see you in the comments as well. SS, thumbs up and thank you. Sabana, greatly appreciated. Din Corta, greatly appreciated. Kitty has just left my lap. She may go outside now, I don't know. Great Slumber, thank you very much. We have Ed Boss, thumbs up. There's Tristan. Well, Tristan actually is from yesterday. So there were 14 people in the last 24 hours on my 3 videos that left me comments. Thank you, each and every one of you. You get me out of my head and into the world, dealing with real people, and that is appreciated. With my hands in the air, I do not know what device you're watching this on, but in the show more text description for the video, whatever device you happen to be watching this on, there are links to all my various channels, if you could check those out. There's also links to things like Twitter and Facebook, my Patreon. If you could become a patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. I'm gonna have to burp. Oh, excuse me. It would be awesome, even when I burp. If you'd like to help me out financially without sending money through the patronage down wherever the text file is, I have links to my PayPal. There's also links to my Amazon wish list link, where hopefully it's updated to have cat food. That would be good. If you'd like to help me out without... No, I just did that part. But... I derailed myself. Do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you can toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. And of course, if you can hit the notification bell, wherever it happens to be, on that subscription button or near it, however the system works, that would be very cool. Thank you very, very much. Yay! Well, holy smokes, I have been mentally busy with my brain fog. It's been hard to get anything at all done this past week and 2 weeks maybe. It's hard to tell. Again, my machine that measures how badly things are working is the machine that is affected and not working correctly. So I have to use the machine that doesn't work right to measure how much the machine that doesn't work right isn't working right. Yeah, brain fog sucks. But no matter what, around the world, and especially here in the United States where our healthcare system is collapsing catastrophically, the covfefe bug is bad. So if you don't have to go out, please don't. If you do, wear a mask, maintain your social distancing, wash your hands, try not to touch your face. Hokey smokes. You don't need to suffer any of the horrendous side effects from this. You don't need to be sick. You don't need to possibly end up on a ventilator. You don't need to possibly end up just being an obit so early in your life. So, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that is, quite frankly, a very good thing.